get up, stretch my legs.
Second guy that we felt was our offensive co-MVP was our running back, Willows. Willows was our workhorse for the offense. This kid is equipped with immense lower body strength that enabled him to break numerous tackles. He was a guy that caught the ball extremely well. He was a guy that blocked extremely well. Again, I called him our workhorse, and I continue we'll call him that for our next season, so his workload is only going to increase, and I know he's ready for that. But he's a guy that I push extremely hard, and he's a guy that responds week in and week out. I'm very excited that he's a junior and will be back for next year. So our two offensive MVPs for the 2014 season, Dom DeLira and running back Abe Willows.
My son Abe wanted to grow up and be a professional football player like his hero LaDainian Tomlinson. And boy, he was off to the races with a 14-yard average as a little guy. And as captain of the Lake Travis Cavaliers, he made 37 touchdowns in about a year and a half. Turned a lot of heads up there in Austin, Texas. They called him the Path of Destruction because he was so powerful and hard to bring down. This writer for the Austin Statesman had him as his preseason pick for the All-Central Texas Player of the Year. But football's a rough sport, and as Abe was having a tremendous senior season, averaging over 12 yards per carry, squatting well over 500 pounds, he had so much horsepower in that body that his knee kind of gave out, and he snapped his ACL and tore his MCL in front of 10,000 people in the Battle of the Lakes. Because it took Abe about a year and a half to recover from the late senior injury that he experienced, this individual, Kerrigan Brooks, became the starter for Penn and earned the honors as the best back in the Ivy League. But when Abe became healthy, it became obvious to the ESPN announcers that he was more explosive and probably faster. So it was a unique situation that they had a great back, but they had the announcer's favorite kind of on the bench. But when they really got up against a tough defense, they often needed to turn to Abe, like they did in the second half of the Yale game, in which he became the running back, and in only one half of play became one of the top fantasy backs in all of college football that weekend.
Minutes to go, a run and a leap over the pile. And that's another touchdown for the Penn Quakers. Abe Willows, have yourself a day.
There's a magic that happens when a great quarterback like Charlie Brewer gels in a season with a great back like Abe. But in Penn, there was kind of a quarterback controversy, and then Abe wasn't really the starter. So the magic never really happened, but he did have some opportunities to show what he was capable of. If you are watching Abe, I'm sure you're kind of tired of Dad making football videos about you. But I would have been a big fan of yours even if you were not my son. I never really saw another player that electrified audiences as much as you. And even if I were an NFL coach, there is no one I would rather have on a 3rd and 11 than a screen pass to Abe Willows. Maybe Brady and Gronk, but apart from them, I've never seen a more consistent 3rd and long converter than you. So it's been a joy watching you these 17 seasons, and I am wishing you the very best with your next step. One of the cool things Abe is doing is he has an online business called Willows World, where you can get trendy shirts, beanies, and other art.
Get away! Oh!